Anybody who's watched the Milwaukee Bucks the last couple of seasons could tell you that Giannis Antetokounmpo will be a force in the NBA. Last year, he was the NBA's most improved player. And if Kevin Durant is even partially correct, just partially correct in his assessment yesterday, then Antetokounmpo will become one of the all-time great NBA basketball players. In a Q&A session on his YouTube channel just yesterday, Kevin Durant, I guess, was asked about Antetokounmpo, and he had this to say. He said, quote, "The Greek freak, I think, is a force. I've never seen anything like him. His ceiling is probably, he could end up being the best basketball player to ever play if he really wanted to. That's pretty scary to think about. He's by far my most favorite player to watch." Giannis Antetokounmpo last year averaged 23 points, almost 9 rebounds, about 5.5 assists, nearly 2 blocks, 1.5 steals, and they were career highs in every category. And he just became the 5th player in NBA history. Now think about that. He's just the 5th player in the 70-plus year history of the NBA, even though all those categories weren't available during the whole period of time. But still, he's the first player in NBA history, the 5th player, excuse me, and the first since LeBron James did it 8 years ago, to lead his team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks in the same season. Very impressive. So, Giannis, does he have the potential to become greater than Michael Jordan? Yes. I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit there and say that, oh, a guy can never do it. He can never do it. It's a lot to live up to. It's a lot to live up to, but a guy with his talent, as well as he plays now at age 22, if everything goes correct, it's something that could happen. Is it likely to happen? I don't know. I guess you would say no because we haven't seen it. Not yet. LeBron's about the closest we've seen in the last 50 years, outside of Wilton, Oscar, and Jerry and them, as far as been playing, and Kareem, as far as playing on the level that Michael's played on. I guess you could throw Magic and Bird in there as well, but they didn't sustain as long as Michael did, in my opinion. But yeah, I guess you could say that. Giannis is only going to get better. He's only 22 years old. I think Kobe Bryant this year challenged him to win the MVP this year. We saw what Russell Westbrook did last year when he was properly motivated. If Giannis has that same mindset, and I like his game too, because while I do appreciate perimeter players, post players are, to me, a rarefied breed in today's game now. We have so many perimeter players, but we don't have a lot of premier post players. Yes, outside of who? Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, Karl Anthony Towns is the upcoming guy. Brook Lopez is decent, but he's not, in my opinion, at that caliber, but he's good. He's a guy to give you 20 points, 8 rebounds, decent. But Giannis, his upswing is extraordinary. And he's like a mixture, in my opinion, of a little bit of Kevin Durant, but without the jump shot, but stronger. A little bit of prime Sean Marion, just a twinge, just a little bit of Dr. J, a little bit. Not quite the dunking phenomenon that he is, but he has a little bit of Dr. J in him as far as like athletic ability. And he's just sort of like all these different guys mixed together. A little bit of Connie Hawkins, rest in peace. Connie Hawkins kind of mixed in there, and you put these guys together, and that's kind of Giannis, in my opinion. Maybe even throw in a little bit of another former Buck from the 70s and 80s, Marquise Johnson, a little bit of him. And that's about what you would get with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, as far as him becoming the greatest player of all time, as far as him surpassing Michael Jordan, it'll take having the right mentality, like a Kobe Bryant type mentality. It would take a Karl Malone type work ethic. And let's be honest, it'll take some luck. There's been many players that's played in this league, but injuries ruined their careers. Penny Hardaway comes to mind. Grant Hill, although he was able to overcome ultimately his injuries to become an effective player in the role that he accepted, he will be a Hall of Famer in my opinion. But he could have been so much greater. He should have been at least a top 20 player in my opinion, Grant Hill. Then you have some people who unfortunately had even worse tragedies befitted upon them, such as Len Bias or Drazen Petrovic. So we'll see. But tell me what you guys think.